Welcome to our first module, Unit 1, What is Universal Design for Learning? So really quickly, each of our modules are shaped in a way that promotes learning at a gradual speed, meaning that I don't want you to have to rush through the content. I want you to be able to explore not only what you're reading, but also interact with it on an individual basis, and also um, in regards to a group collaborative method. So each of the units are designed with a couple of different visual aids and also audio and interactive aspects that you can fully engage in the course content. The unit begins with a brief overview, which kind of explains to you where we're going in regards to the unit content, and then it moves into, as you will see, the actual assignments. So the way that the unit overview works is it repeats what you've already seen or read on the syllabus and also at the very beginning of each of the modules. I just put them back into the PowerPoint so that you can continuously see what the objectives and the goals are to make sure that if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, they can be expressed more easily and you can relate them to what is actually not seen in regards to student learning outcomes and the unit objectives. For this unit in particular, we're going to really get into what Universal Design for Learning is. I'm not going to assume that you all know what it is. So this unit really takes some time to dig into what this theoretical curriculum framework really is and then how to use it. Unit resources enable you to download all the content at your own time and add them to your resource collection. As you can see, most of the content is actually created by CAST, which we'll get into that, who they are a little bit later. CAST are the designers of Universal Design for Learning, and it was important for me to incorporate all the resources that they enable you to use as freely as educators. So the unit resources page enables you to easily access anything that you read or you see throughout the module on this slide. In addition to unit resources being here, you can also find the reading resources tab within each of the modules. So there's no gap in accessibility. Within each of the PowerPoints, you will find a guide. For this particular PowerPoint, I wanted to explain to you how you should be completing the course content. Here it says how to complete each unit's reading with the PowerPoint guide. So each PowerPoint reading guide will highlight the essential points from the reading and provide you with the review questions that you need in order to make sure you are retaining the essential parts of the reading. You will also find that the check for understanding reading questions are also used as quizzes. So if you read in-depthly and you also gain the level of comprehension that's necessary, these should be really easy for you. Some of them range from comprehension to analyzing and also application to real-world experiences that you currently have as an educator. So for this process, I do ask that you review the PowerPoint guide before or during your reading. Take notes. Feel free to kind of dig into how you want to break down the content. And then after the brief overview and also the unit objectives and outcomes, you will typically see the reading check for understanding review questions at the very beginning. For this module, we'll look at what is the purpose behind the creation of UDL, and number 2, what are the 3 principles of UDL? Define them in your own words. And also you see the real life application question, which it says answer the questions that apply to your class only. Have you ever heard of UDL? So I want to know if you've ever used it, heard of it. If so, where? Is it used in your current school setting? Also provide an example in video, picture, or text that supports your response. So this is going to be a kind of not just you putting in text, I want you to get used to a variety of ways of showing your understanding. After the check for understanding questions, I try to put in some type of interactive or even a video. If you click on the actual link of the PowerPoint, you should be able to download the video. I've also integrated the video into the actual module so that you can view the video on your own terms with it being separate from the PowerPoint. This video in particular, I chose it because it gives you an overview of CAS, and it also introduces you to the CAS UDL YouTube channel, which I would definitely recommend that you subscribe to because it's a great resource for you to have. And it's also where a lot of the video content come from regarding this actual curriculum. So it will be useful for you in the long run to keep it. Just keep in mind that these PowerPoints can be used repeatedly, but the key thing is that you finish them throughout the unit that you're in. So once you're ready to move on, you've completed everything within the module and you won't have anything stopping you. So just to recap, if you did not get a chance to watch the video yet and you're just kind of looking in to see how things are going to go, remember that CAST is, it stands for the Center for Applied Special Technology, and it is a nonprofit organization focused on research and education, focusing particularly on accessibility, disability, and technology. I think it's kind of cool the way that they group together to make sure that educators have free access to resources to better curriculum. So also keep in mind that they began this journey specifically focusing on accessibility with disability and technology, but they have expanded UDL's guidelines to include aspects that will better every classroom's environment. Finally, we have our reading highlights, which you'll typically find at the end of every reading or every PowerPoint that covers readings assigned to you throughout the module. The reading highlights indicate key points that you should have picked up as you were reading. So for example, here you have Universal Design for Learning, what the definition of that is, and then you have the 3 principles spelled out for you. So this is a great resource for you, especially if you lose track of what you should have retained from what you've read. And it also provides you with a brief breakdown of the essential comprehension checkpoints. So if you wanted to, you can use the reading highlights at the very beginning of your reading to kind of pinpoint what you should be retaining and what you should be remembering, or what's most relevant for you to keep.